Right, so today we are going to talk about a few mistakes, meaning mistakes, which most of you are either already making, or if you're starting, you probably are most likely to make these mistakes. And even if you've been doing mewing for a long time, you still can make these mistakes. So it's going to be good if you listen to these mistakes and try to not make them. You won't ruin your face if you listen. Will save you a lot of time and problems which don't actually matter, but like you don't need more problems. We already have enough problems in our lives, right? Anyway, the first mistake is a basic one which most likely everyone may make or may already be making. You may already know about this, is that beginners do this a lot of times. In the beginning, when you're doing mewing, when you put your tongue on the roof of the mouth, what happens? You're not able to put the whole tongue on the roof of the mouth. Why? Because you're beginner and you have never done this before, so of course you're not going to be able to do it. So you're going to be putting the tip of your tongue on the roof of the mouth, and you will be thinking that that's just how you do it. That's what happened to me for the first few days when I figured out, when in the first few days when I watched videos of mewing, and then I thought, oh yeah, let's do it. And I was putting the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and for the first few days I was doing that. Then I was like, I was watching some videos as well related to it, and then I thought that I'm not actually doing it right, because I was also pushing the tip, like I was pushing the tongue, like I was pushing my teeth from the back using the tongue, right? And that is not good, and it's a good thing I didn't do that for long. And the thing is, it can ruin your teeth. You don't want to do this. So you gotta be, if you're doing this right now when you're doing mewing, do you think your teeth should not even touch, not teeth, your tip of the tongue, if you're doing mewing, even if it's correct, even if you're putting the whole tongue on the roof of the mouth, it should not touch, the tip of the tongue should not even touch your front teeth. It should just be your how do I say this? Your tongue, the tip of the tongue should just be resting just behind it. It doesn't have it should not be touching it. You can push it, you may not be aware, but that can happen, right? This is one thing. Second is posture, right? Now here's the thing. I mean, I should not even have to talk about this, but I have to. Why? Because who has a proper posture in this, the world that we live in? No one has a straight posture. Now, I'm not going to talk about why we don't have straight posture and stuff like that. That's a different thing. But if your posture is not straight when you're doing mewing, you're doing and why should you not even have a straight posture? Think about that. Not walking straight, not having straight posture makes you look unconfident, makes you look like a loser. That's just the reality. Makes you look like you are not proud of yourself. You don't believe in yourself, right? But that's a different thing. But there is no point in having a bad posture. You need to have a straight posture. And especially if you're doing mewing, you have to have a straight posture. And I know I'm kind of sitting like this, kind of my habit. But you have to have straight posture like this, right? So you have to have that. And yeah, you can say that you yourself are moving like this. I'm just who I am, so I cannot do that. But I'm not doing mewing at the moment, right? I'm talking. But it's not even it's not even about mewing. Like when you sit, you have to sit straight, right? Like this. Hello there, right? You talk to people like this. So your posture has to be straight, right? What else do I say about this? Like, it's not even something which I should even have to talk about, but I have to talk about it. Because posture matters a lot more when you're doing mewing. Also another thing, when your posture is not straight and you're kind of like this, you may not even be able to put the back of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. You still can, but like it's just not good. Mewing can help you fix your posture as well. So at least do it with a straight posture. Right? That's that. Third, actually. This is a mistake which a lot of beginners make as well. A lot of people, they want fast results, which is nothing wrong. I mean, everyone would want that. And what they're going to do especially beginners, they're gonna put the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and they're gonna put too much pressure, like, and it even would hurt. This is another thing. If it hurts when you're doing mewing, especially if you're a beginner, it's normal, so that's fine. Another thing, if you're a beginner, do not put too much pressure. Just rest your tongue on the roof of the mouth, right? You don't want to risk having uneven face. You don't want asymmetry, right? Anyway, so if you put too much pressure on the roof of your mouth, what's going to happen? Too much pressure means uneven pressure as well. And uneven pressure means asymmetry as well. So you don't need to do that. And especially if you're a beginner, you won't even fully know if the posture is correct, so don't do it. Hard mewing is works, but it is risky. If you're a beginner, don't do it. This is third. Fourth, it's kind of the same to the third, but it's a little different. Uneven pressure. We talked about putting too much pressure. Now we have to talk about uneven pressure. See, it is risky, so you have to be careful with this. You don't want to ruin your face. Uneven pressure is when you put more pressure on, let's say, right side of the palate or left side of the palate. That side is going to be like, one side will be developed more and the other won't be developed that much. Asymmetry, you don't want this. I'm telling you this, like, if you even listen to this and you still do this, and you know what the reality is, you make these mistakes, few months later, even 1 month later, you have asymmetry, and then you're gonna have, I'm not gonna say stress, but like, you're gonna have a problem which is gonna waste a lot of your time. It's gonna take your mental space. You don't want this. Like, you probably already have enough problems in your life. You don't need more problems like this. So you got to be careful. Now, fourth, done. What is the fifth mistake that you are likely to make when you're doing mewing? And I think that a lot of people, maybe beginners, would make this mistake as well. It's that you grind your teeth. You, like, when you do mewing, right, you have to close your mouth. But a lot of times you may be putting, like, you have your front teeth up and like lower. They just have to touch. Don't put pressure. And this is another thing. If you do hard mewing, you're more likely to do it because you are putting pressure on the roof of the mouth. And sometimes you can be aware of it, but sometimes you may not be. I've noticed it, so I know. You may put pressure on the teeth, and what is it gonna do? Crossbite, or like this, like, you have your teeth like this, right? They're gonna be like this. Like, you don't want that stuff, right? So do not put like pressure on the teeth while you just have to touch the teeth. When you're putting the tongue on the roof of the mouth, on the palate, you just have to touch it. Do not put pressure on the teeth. Yes. Yeah, so that's that for this video. 5 mistakes. Listen. This is a serious matter. Mewing can fix your face. It can ruin it as well. It's in your hands. I've told you 5 mistakes which you're most likely to make. Right? Most likely people make these mistakes, right? And I have a lot of guys reach out to me and they are saying that, yeah, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. And I'm telling you these things. And if you still make mistakes, you're going to have problems in your life later, which, like, in life, as humans, they already have enough problems which we don't address, we don't solve. That's another thing. But we already have problems. You don't need more problems for no reason, right? You would have this you would spend time to fix this if you get an asymmetrical face because you make these mistakes, or get an uneven jaw, right? And it's going to take a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, which is what is What is energy and time? Time is important, but energy is important as well. Focus, it's going to take you a lot of focus, a lot of your mental energy, stress. You don't want this stuff. These things are, time is important. You don't want to waste your time on something which is like obviously, like if you have a problem like this, then you try to fix it. That's another thing. But you don't, if you don't have it, and if you knowing this, that the mistakes which I've told you, and you still make a mistake, then that's just your own problem. Then I can't, like, what can I say then? You don't have to add more problem into your life, right? So that's that for this video. Be very careful with this. Be very careful with moving. And I'm not exaggerating. Be careful. See you later.